Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hey,
Well, we are back, and today we're going to be talking about our full ship review of the Celebrity Ascent, what we like and what we did not like of this cruise ship. So, I have some information that I wrote down here for you guys. Celebrity Ascent costs $1.8 billion. It has 16 decks. It has 1,600 staterooms. It has a passenger capacity of 4,000 passengers. It has 32 food and drink venues.
you think we should wait
It
until everyone
has
gets here?
6 hot tubs. It has 4 pools and 1 magic carpet. Hey, Em, how are you? Welcome in.
Welcome to the stream.
So I just wanted to give you that information about the Celebrity Ascent. This ship is beautiful. It's one of the newest additions to the Celebrity family. I know that the next one coming in is going to be Celebrity XL. I will be on Celebrity Beyond, which is the sister ship to Ascent, in February. So we're just here to talk about what we liked and what we didn't like about the Celebrity Ascent. Jaden, so I'm gonna why don't you want to talk about the likes or the dislikes first?
I was gonna say likes, but I kind of wanted to wait until more people were here because
Okay, so
I believe right now it's only M.
well, M is only here, but they can watch the replay later.
But it's fair.
So we'll just continue our show, and whoever gets here, they can always watch the replay later on and later on when they can. So, which one do you want to talk about first?
I'd say dislikes. Maybe get that out of the way first.
Okay, so what was your dislike?
All right. So me personally, my favorite part of the celebrity ships is always the artwork. And while there was really good artwork here on this one, it didn't really have the same appeal to it, I guess, that I had with the Celebrity Apex. A good way to put it, the Apex has a lot of different pieces of artwork that look very otherworldly. There's a lot of shapes that you can't quite make out, and there's a lot of materials that you can only describe as yeah, I think that's kind of maybe marble or something.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you are just not on Earth when you step onto that ship. And a good example is I don't know what the weird hallway place is called, but between
You talking about the Aurora?
Yeah, so between the Aurora and Eden on the Celebrity Apex, there is this one chair, and it's like my favorite art piece in the entire ship. It looks like a huge coral fan coming out of a chair with a lot of holes poked into it. It looks like something that you would see out of an alien movie. It doesn't look like it
Right.
belongs on this planet, and it's one of my favorite things on the entire ship. And I feel like the Celebrity Ascent didn't really have a lot of those kinds of otherworldly sorts of pieces of artwork. The closest I could say was maybe the lady that only exists when you look at her from one angle. But even then, that's a lady. That's a thing that's on Earth. So yeah, there was great artwork on the ship. I just feel it didn't really appeal to the same strengths as the other ship did.
Well, I want to welcome in the mother and daughter duo. Welcome into the show today.
Hello.
One of the things that I dislike about Ascent, even though that I love Celebrity, but this is one of the things that just I don't like at all, is the fact that their specialty dinings are on deck 4 and 5. And all these dining venues are all in the middle of the atrium, where if the atrium is doing their martini thing that they do every evening, and you're trying to have dinner, whether at the steakhouse, Raw on 5, La Petite, wherever, you're gonna hear all that is going on the atrium inside of these venues. Why? The venues are all open; they're not closed in. None of that. It's just open out there. And that's one of the things that I wish Celebrity would maybe change in some form or some way on their ships, because you're paying a lot of money for these specialty restaurants to be able to enjoy kind of like a dinner, and then you're hearing everything that's going on in the atrium inside of the specialty dining. That's one of the things that I really disliked, and I don't like it about all the other celebrity cruises that they have. I don't know. I have never been on the Equinox, so I don't know how the Equinox work. But I think their specialty dinings are in different venues that are not next to the atrium.
Yeah, because last time we went on the when we went on the Apex, we went to the steakhouse, and the food was amazing. It was really good, but the problem is like the only time you're probably ever going to get to go to those specialty dining is when there's some kind of special event where you got more than one person and you're going up there because you want to talk about something, whether it be like this person turned 21, this is a business meeting and we're doing really good this year, that sort of thing.
Right.
It is impossible to hear anybody during a meeting or a like meetup like that without yelling, and it strains your throat a lot because everyone in the atrium is partying, they're drinking, they're dancing, there's a lot of noise. It's just, I wish there was like a wall or something, that's all.
Right. Another thing that I really didn't like, and maybe because this was it was from pre of the inaugural cruise. So one of the things that I really didn't like is that the shows weren't ready. Like the show Residency was not ready for when we went. We did see other shows, but that was the one show that I was really looking forward to seeing on this ship, and that show was not ready. I don't know if that show was ready for the actual inaugural cruise. I'm not sure. I haven't, talked to people that have been on that one to see if that show was ready on there, but I know that I've heard a lot of people complaining that that show wasn't there, so I'm going to guess that maybe not. That's one of the things that I disliked about the celebrity cruise. Other than another dislike that I had is that the casino is very small compared to any other ship. For this ship to be so massive, you would think that they have a bigger casino, but not on this ship. This casino on this ship was not very well, I guess, thought of on this ship. And another thing that I noticed that I dislike is that there's no activities for the children on this ship. And another thing that I dislike was that the kids area is a very small area on this ship. So this ship is kind of like built more for the adults, but if that adult has a child that wants to travel with them, the kids wouldn't, they do have a small area, but they don't have like an area like when you go on Royal Carnival in the region that they have a bigger area, or even Disney for the kids to enjoy that, enjoy time with other little kids. But I understand that Celebrity a lot of kids don't travel on Celebrity.
Yeah, I still think the best bet for a family with kids would be something like Royal.
Okay, the mother and daughter duo has a question. She says, with respect to you, how safe is it to cruise? We have heard so many horror stories, and that has us in fear. Actually, it's very safe. To be honest with you, cruising is very safe. I've been cruising. This past Celebrity Ascent cruise for me was number 52. So, and I've never encountered, thank God that I've never encountered any problems, but I also have never heard of anybody encountering any problems. If you're looking to maybe possibly booking a cruise and you're a little bit worried, I wouldn't suggest you to travel during hurricane season. Mm-hmm. Travel, maybe from January all the way to like May, beginning or beginning of June, and then travel again after the hurricane season ends, which is November all the way till June. So you have that timing, if that's what you're worried about. Other than that, like if, as long as everything is good and, we have good weather, I've never had encounter an issue. I know Jaden has gone with me in several cruises, and we never had an issue.
The worst I've ever been able to say about a ship is that it sways a little bit too much, and that's kind of it. Honestly, I think most like cruising horror stories are just, how do I put this? You don't 52 times we've never been on a vacation. Thank you for the tips. Yeah. At the end of the day, right? If a ship goes perfectly well and it sails smoothly, people are mostly just going to say like one thing on Facebook. It's not going to be on the news. It's not going to be like viral or anything. If anything bad happens, then it's everywhere. So it's a lot easier to track down when something bad happens on a ship. Even though statistically, right, the odds of a cruise ship, like anything horrendous happening, it's about the same as like getting struck by lightning or a car crash. It's one of those things where it's not going to happen most of the time, but one in every 20,000,
Right.
then yeah, I'm sure something might have happened. But
Yeah.
at that same rate, you may as well never drive or go on a plane or go on a cruise or anything.
Right. Well, welcome in, Alice. I'm glad that you're here today and you made it to the show. Now, are you done with all the dislikes, or do you still have something that you don't like?
That was kind of my only problem with the ship. I just wish the theming of the art was a bit more interesting.
Yeah. Well, my favorite art sculpture was the lady on the retreat, the one that you can just walk and she kind of like disappears on you. I thought that it was, ingenious.
It turned out really cool in the footage, especially because
Yeah.
the footage doesn't capture everything in like perfect crystal clear eye quality, but it means that like when we record from the side, it was just completely gone, and that
Right.
turned out really cool.
Same with that sculpture with the faces. Like if you see it, with your own eyes on live right there, it looks completely different than what you saw on camera during the tour.
Every picture I took made that thing look evil.
So that was really cool. And when you're coming out of the Ocean View Cafe, that area for the buffet area, and you're coming out, all you see is this humongous ball from that angle. And as you're walking through the side, going like towards the pool area, that's when you kind of see like this face kind of looking thing, but you can't really see it unless you're looking at it at a specific view. And when you're looking at it on a camera, it was like very pronounced. You could see the whole thing, but it's weird how the camera pulled that effect out. And we were looking at it, we were trying to like, it doesn't even look like that. So I guess when we did the tour, we were discussing that specific sculpture at the beginning, and we were trying to figure it out because it looks so weird. So those were our dislikes. So now we're going to talk about the likes. So what did you like?
Okay, so big fan of the food. So we got to, because of the suite that we got in, we got to eat at Blue, which was very nice. They have some very good filet mignon. It's very nice. We got to eat at Raw on 5 because of a business meeting, and I ate so many things I would have never tried before, and I liked all of them. So now now, for example, I know that I like edamame. I know that I like spicy miso soup with like crab and lobster in it. It was really good. It was very spicy as well. But even then, the free food that they have up at the buffet is like always good. That's like the best part of any celebrity ship. They have buffet food that is normally exclusive to like dining experiences. So you can go up there and you can get shrimp, you can get lobster, you can get fish freshly sliced for you. You can get gourmet pizza. You can get like any kind of pasta. You can get any kind of rice. You can get as much cheese and meat and bread as you want. And it's like there is so much good food to eat on the ship. I came back 8 pounds heavier.
Well, since you've been on Carnival and you've been on Royal, how would you describe the buffet between all of those and Celebrity?
Yeah. So I actually generally don't like the buffet at like a Carnival ship. Like it's obviously, it's good food, but it's kind of like, it feels like going to a buffet at like Golden Corral, for example, where it's like, wow, there's so much food to eat. This is all so good. And then it's like, okay, but it's kind of just a lot of junk food, kind of a lot of slop.
Yeah. One of the good things, and I agree with Jaden when he's talking about the buffet on the Ocean. I think is it Ocean View?
Yeah, the Ocean View Cafe.
Is that when you walk in, you have your area where you wash your hands, and then you have your gelato area right there, and then as you're walking in, to your left, you have the second Al Bacchio Cafe, and then right after that, you have to your right a lot of seating area. Then you have your bakery area, and then if you make that left turn on the bakery, you have like where they have all your omelets and different things there, and then you have your pasta station. And then from the front towards the other side in the middle, then you have kind of like the fruit area, the cheese, and it's just a multitude of food, like buffet, like you've never seen it before. It's a lot of variety, and that's one of the things that variety. It's one of the things that I really enjoyed of going into that buffet, especially for me because I have a shellfish allergy and I have many different foods that I can actually eat. And that was one of the things that I really like.
Actually, there. Okay, so this is kind of related to the question earlier of like comparing Carnival, Royal, and Celebrity. One of the things I really like about Celebrity is service is very quick. Like
Mhm.
you go to the cafe in the ocean. You go. Okay, so there's Cafe Al Basio where you can get like your coffee and everything, but you can also get sodas if you just stand there. There is usually any sort of line because not everyone's going to
Right.
get organized, but they work through it really quickly. They manage to get everyone organized, and you get your drink in maybe
Mhm.
like 2 minutes. On the Carnival ship that we were on before, what was the ship?
Horizon.
Yeah, on the Carnival Horizon, I had the drink package, and it was maybe the most infuriating thing ever
Mhm.
because I would go up to the Lido deck and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get a soda and I'm gonna get a pizza and I'm gonna eat. And I would have to stand at that bar for maybe 10 minutes just for somebody to notice, oh hey, this guy's been standing here for a while. And then they would come over, ask what I wanted, and then they would have to serve everyone their drinks. They would have to mix all the beer and everything, mix all the shakes. And then after another 5 minutes, I would finally get my soda, and it's like lukewarm because they're just keeping it in a little box out in the open.
Yeah. So it's a really nice. I actually like the part in the buffet area where you can sit down and they actually have like you have your regular crew members that clean, but they also have like kind of like these bartender people
Mhm.
that come around and then you have a thing on your table where you bring it down if you don't need anything and you bring it up and they come in fairly quickly. They get you whatever drinks you want from the bar and they bring it to you. So if you're looking into something like that, that you enjoy that kind of service, then I will suggest Celebrity for that. One of the things that I liked, it was our balcony cabin.
It was very
We
nice.
had an aqua class balcony cabin. It was very nice, very comfortable, very spacey for the veranda. And one of the things that I learned only on the Celebrity Ascent, guys, because Beyond doesn't have it, neither does Apex, neither does Edge. This is only on the Ascent. If you have an Aqua Class stateroom, not only you get to eat in Blue because that's their main dining room, but also Blue has an al fresco dining on the outside. So if you wish, and we didn't get to see that part,
We didn't.
we did not.
You never told me.
I never knew that until the last day when I was doing the tour. And I was like, wait a minute, like, what is this restaurant? And when I looked inside, it was Blue. So when I asked the question, you're able to have your dinner and you're able to have your breakfast out in Blue, al fresco, out on the outside. And they have like these nice cool tables set up with these umbrellas that you can just sit outside and enjoy that. Let me see. Um, let me
Oh, that
see.
was just a reply to something
Oh,
the deal
okay.
we were talking about earlier.
But yeah, so if you're looking into maybe possibly getting an aqua class to have that experience, then not only you're an aqua class cabin, but you get to eat in Blue. And if you're on the Ascent, then if you want to eat outside and al fresco, you could do that. So that's kind of pretty cool that you don't have to eat on the main dining, which is the main dining is beautiful. Let me tell you, on its own, it's so pretty. But if you want to eat outside, then you're able to do that too. And it was sad that I found out like on the night when we were leaving, because we were leaving the next day, Jada and I wasn't able to enjoy it and maybe bring it on the blog for you guys.
Quick thing, speaking of the aqua class, I know we were supposed to be done with the dislikes, but this was like a really minor thing that I got over really quickly. And it's more of a general issue with cruising in general. When we got to our room, there were like no outlets in the entire room. There was a single USB port, and normally
Right.
celebrity ships have like this little box where you open it up and there's the outlets. They don't have any sort of like standard outlet for some reason, like
Right.
the 3-prong one that you got here in America. I couldn't find a single one of those, and I was worried I was going to have to leave everything unplugged for the entire ship. And I kind of did. I brought my laptop so I could do some video editing, but there was not a single outlet in sight. So I hope they add at least one outlet to ships going forwards, but I'm kind of worried that they're going to stop doing that. and just have USB ports everywhere.
Yeah. I have a question here about the midship. What does that mean? Midship is just the middle of the ship, to be honest with you. If you are a person that you get easily like seasick or anything like that, then I suggest you get a cabin midship. So you're not only in middle of the ship, but you also don't want to be too high or too low. Kind of look for a cabin like in between, in the middle. That way, all the movement on the ship, whether front or back, is not, you're not feeling it as much midship. So, but it's always nice to be on the middle of the ship. Usually, if I either do a midship cabin or an aft cabin, because I like the sunset veranda cabins on the back. It gives you not only more space on your balcony, but also you get the whole full view of everything instead of being on the port side or the starboard side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, the mother daughter duo that will help you out. One of the things that I really liked was the show Awake. Even though that you only saw part of it, that show was really good. I did some bits and pieces of it. If you guys want, I do have a lot of clips, and maybe we could do like a small vlog with the different types of shows that we saw. But it was really, really cool to see that show. It has to do with you falling asleep and dreaming, and then all your dreams will come into reality. And it was really cool. I had a really cool time watching that show. It's a sadness that residency wasn't available, but at least we got to see Awake. Another thing that I like is like the art of the ship. I enjoy like I like going on a celebrity cruise, not only for everything they have to offer, but their art. If you like art, you would love their cruises because they have these really cool art sculptures around the ship, and it was really cool. They had a bear with a lady. They had the sculpture of a lady swimming inside of where the main pool was inside of the solarium. There's a lady that she's like kind of like in a swimwear. It was really cool to see that. And also, one of the things that I enjoy when I go is all the different seating areas that they have. They're not the same, they're always different. So that's really cool. So if you want to have some really cool chairs, like they have chairs that are hanging up that you can sit and swing. They have all sorts of different cool chairs and seating areas on Celebrity Ascent. Let me see. Well, we already talked about the buffets. That's one of the things that I like. And guys, I actually got to try this. Jaden did not want to go with me. They were doing a tender ride around the ship.
Yeah.
And Jaden and I went for breakfast, and we started looking at the tenders coming around. And I'm like, I wonder what they're doing. I thought that it was maybe kind of like they were testing them out, because Niagara was getting ready to hit. And I decided to go all the way down to where you get the tender. And there was a line of people. There were actually people that were taking them out so they can see the whole ship. And I took a whole lot of videos and pictures of it. One of the cool things that I found out was if you are ever stranded on a celebrity cruise, let me tell you, you are VIP. These tenders fit 250 people. They are air conditioned. They have multiple TVs, and all their seats are all really nice and cushioned. They're not like hard or anything. It's like if you like, you're sitting in a really comfortable seat. I was completely taken. Like when I went in, and I'm like, oh, this is fancy. Like if you are ever in a situation which I'm hoping you never are, but if you were, then you will be very well taken care of because the way that he mentioned, these boats can go as far as 700 miles. So usually I don't think they stay within 700 miles from any land area. And he was saying that, all the TV has air conditioning and all of that. So you guys will be, very well taken care of compared to the other tender boats that I've seen with Royal and Carnival and all of that. Yeah, that was really cool to actually experience. And these tender boats, they actually use them when they're tendering from, like if you're in a like Cayman Island that they don't have like a port and you have to tender in, they use these boats to tender people. So if you ever are in a celebrity cruise, you might understand what I'm saying, because you're probably going to end up having to go on one of them to take you to land. So that's one of the things that I liked about Celebrity, other than our veranda cabins. Do you guys, let me see, vacation is about relaxation as well. That is correct. One of the things that I enjoy when we go on a cruise is just the ports. I like going to the different ports. And even if sometimes, guys, even if you go to the same port, try doing something completely different, every time you go, and your vacation will be completely different than the one it was prior to. That's what I always tell everybody. If you're a person that you enjoy staying on the ship, because I do have a lot of my clients that just cruise just to stay on the ship and they don't get off for any reason whatsoever, then enjoy all the things that you can do inside of the ships, because a lot of people, sometimes these ships get really packed and you don't get to enjoy the ship things because there's too many people.
We got a question from the mother-daughter duo. What is your favorite cruise ship?
What is your favorite cruise ship?
Okay, so
are we going to say it at the same time?
Do you want to go first, or should I?
Well, we're going to say it at the same time.
Celebrity Ascent?
Celebrity Cruises.
Well, okay, I wouldn't say the Celebrity Ascent. If we're talking about like a specific cruise ship, I can't say the Ascent.
Mm-hmm.
My personal favorite is still the Apex. They're both ultimately the exact same ship, but the room that I got in the Celebrity Apex was it was a lot more spacious than the one that we had.
But you were by yourself in a room.
Well, even when I was by myself in the Celebrity Ascent, I think we definitely got a smaller room. It felt like the room was
smaller. Well, you had a concierge. Balcony.
Oh,
on the Apex.
Okay, yeah, that would explain it a lot, actually. Yeah, but no, ultimately they're the same ship, but I prefer the art on the Celebrity Apex just a lot more. And since that's the only real difference, it's my preference. But honestly, just that class of celebrity ships in general, very relaxing, very nice. Food's great. There's a lot of art to see. The balcony cabins are my favorite, just because you can just sit down and have the window open, have the sea breeze rolling in. You can hear the ocean from below. Sometimes the magic carpet passes by. It's a very relaxing experience compared to every other ship. Part of why I don't enjoy most Carnival ships is because it's loud. There's a lot of partying, and that's fun for everyone. But Celebrity very much appeals to me wanting to just lay down and relax and eat and have a pleasant time. So it is by far a landslide victory, my favorite kind of cruise ship.
That's good. I am the same way too. I've been on Carnival, I've been on Norwegian, I've been on Holland, I've been on Royal. I have not been in Costa Cruises, or I have been on Disney, and I have tried a lot of different cruise lines, and my favorite is hands down Celebrity Cruises. Not only the crew people there are amazing, it's just a really nice way to cruise. Now, Celebrity is one of those ships that you're going in for kind of to chill and relax. That is not a party boat, even though that they have venues at night that you got your that you can go dance and you have your. But one of the things that I like about Celebrity is the shows that they have, that they're really nice. And then they have these cool games as well on there. So it's really nice. I enjoy it. I love it. When should you plan your excursions? Is it in the package, or you plan the excursions? Let's say if you're going to book a cruise today and your cruise leaves, let's say 6 months to a year, you can go under your plan my cruise, and then you can go see under your shore excursions, and you should be able to plan any excursions that is available. Sometimes all excursions will not be available depending on how far your cruise is. But if your cruise is within 6 months, then all your shore excursions should be available, and you should be able to pay for them. And in just in case, let's say if you were to pay for an excursion, let's say the 10 best of Cozumel, and you pay $79, but Black Friday comes rolling around, and now they have the 10 best of Cozumel for $59. So what you do, you cancel the one that you have, and then you rebook it at the price. Now, keep in mind, You're going to get a refund back to your credit card within 7 to 10 days, but then you were able to buy it at the lower rate and you got to save some money. So you're going to have to pay it up front and wait 7 to 10 days to get your refund back, but you're still going to get your refund back no matter what. Now, in some cruises, like I think Carnival just changed their shore excursion cancellation policy. It used to be 24 hours before your excursions that you can cancel before and get your money back, but now it's 48 hours before. So if for whatever reason you change your mind and all of that, and your cruise is coming up, quickly, or even if you're on board, as long as you're canceling that shore excursion within 48 hours from your shore excursion, then they'll give you your money back. That's only with Carnival. The other ones are still 24 hours. So hopefully that answers, your question. But yeah, you pay everything separate. You don't pay it with the cruise. It's not like if you can add it into the cruise. Those things you pay separately as you go.
Yeah. As for when you should plan your excursion, absolutely try to plan it as far in advance as possible, because we have a few people that we know who like to get the excursion when they're on the cruise, because you actually can buy excursions while you're on the cruise, right. and they still give you deals. Like if you're on the ship, then it's like, hey, buy right now, and tomorrow's excursion is like 20% off or whatever. But if you do that, you're more than likely to not get the excursion at all, because it's probably booked at completely by then.
Sold out.
Or the part that you get is you probably get the very end of it, for example.
Right.
Because sometimes they fill up seats by priority. And if you ever book on the cruise, you are going to be the lowest priority, lowest likely to see the whole thing.
Right. And always keep in mind that before you cancel an excursion, because let's say it's on a special, double check that excursion is not sold out. Because if it's sold out, I wouldn't suggest you do it. Because if you cancel and somebody grabs those seats as soon as you cancel, then you're going to lose out on that excursion. But yeah, I do agree to try and get your excursions as soon as possible, because a lot of these excursions get sold out fairly quickly. Like right now, I'm going to Tortola within the next 23 days on a cruise, and the baths is always constantly selling out. But because I'm going with a group, I was able to take a group excursion into that, so we are okay. But if you go into our group that we're going on the Escape for January 20th, that has been sold out for months now. So just keep an eye on that. Whatever, you could put it on your cart and anything like that, but just because it's on your cart doesn't mean you have it saved, because anybody can come and snatch those tickets that you need, and then by the time you know it, you can even go on the excursion. Any other things you want to say about the Celebrity Ascent?
Not really. No. Okay. There was one thing. So, remember that video that we showed, which was all of the different luxury suites?
Mm-hmm.
Originally, my recording at the start of the video, if it sounds like it was weirdly cut, that's because it kind of was. Because I remember when we were walking around, I overheard that the bellhops there were telling us, yeah, if you wanted to stay at this room, on average, it would be about 15,000 a day or whatever. So originally, right, my opening monologue was something like, hey, welcome to the Celebrity Ascent Luxury Cruise Review video. I'm going to be tallying up all the different rooms and their costs, and I'll show that to you at the end of the video. We never actually had any of that in the footage, apparently, because that was all said to Mom after she was done recording. But the prices on some of these rooms, for the price of spending a week in a 2-bedroom room in the back of the ship, where you have this beautiful view and everything, you got your own separate bathrooms and everything, very nice, very expensive, no doubt. The price was something along the lines of $500,000 to spend a week in there.
Well, to answer your question, mother and daughter duo, if I don't know which ship you're going to go, and for 7 days for 14 each, but on a celebrity cruise, like the cruise that Jaden and I went, I will tell you something. I have a celebrity cruise book, which I'm not going to talk about, but I do have one booked for future. And I booked it for 4 people. on a balcony veranda cabin. This is a long cruise. It's an 8-day cruise, and that cruise came out with drinks, Wi-Fi, and gratuities for $8,200 on Celebrity Cruises. So if you're looking to booking a cruise, call me and I'll be more than happy to help you, and we can figure out a pricing. What is it that you're looking at? But I wouldn't see $14,000 for two people for 7 days.
Yeah, because 14,000 was actually one of the prices I heard for like the luxury suites.
Yeah.
That's the kind of price that you would pay if you're gonna have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathroom, like a personal attendant that lives right down the hall.
Yeah, you got your what is it called? Your oh my God, they have names.
Sky Suite?
No,
not Sky Suite. Penthouse Suite.
The guy that the butler, they have a butler.
Yeah. Oh,
the reason, I was telling Jaden, let's not put in the amounts, because those were the amounts for that specific cruise. Every cruise, depending on peak, off peak, and all of that, depending on how many people are going to be, it fluctuates the amounts. They fluctuate. So when we were hearing those prices that he was giving, the Iconic Suite goes for about $100,000, just the Iconic Suite alone, and that's for 2 people. But now you're looking at one whole side of the ship just for you, because it had a 2-bedroom. You could fit up to 8 people on that Iconic Suite. But if you think about it, if you're gonna take 8 people to stay in an Iconic Suite, then you divide that by 8 people. Or 4 people. That's how much we're paying for our cruise. That's one cruise that I'm going to talk about down the road. But like I said, if you want, give me a call. I'll put my number down in my email on the chat for you, and just let me know, and I can check out a price for you. But yeah, 14,000. No, that's not right. I couldn't, for $14,000, to be honest with you. You're probably on a kind of like underneath the Royal Suite on a Celebrity, in between the Sky Suite and the Royal Suite. But yeah, it's that I don't know who said that number. That's crazy, because you can go, like right now, the group that I have this coming month on January on NCL, they're balcony cabins, and each person, for 2 people, it was $28.88.14, and that came with drink package, Wi-Fi, gratuities, 2 shore excursion credit for $50, and it came with 2 specialty dining, travel protection, and a $100 onboard credit for 2 people. That was $2,888.14. That is true, Em. It could possibly be that could be Disney money, maybe Disney treasure money right there.
Yeah, Disney is crazy expensive for ships that aren't actually that good. I'll give you.
I'm putting my phone number up there for you, and I'm also gonna put my email.
I have been on one Disney cruise before, and I never want to do another one afterwards, because it is kind of exactly what you would expect. How do I explain this? Part of why I don't like the Disney experience of like going to a Disney park right now is there's a lot of lines, there's a lot of waiting, there's a lot of not much interesting happening, and they try to cover it up with like, look, it's Mickey Mouse, look, it's the hidden Mickey, it's family friendly. You go on a Disney cruise, you have like the most average quality food, the most average quality decorations. The ship isn't really all that stable. Like I remember the ship we were on was swaying back and forth really hard.
And that was the Disney Fantasy. One of the things that I like about the Disney Fantasy was that one specialty dining that we went, that it was the one with the painting that Animator's Palette, I think it was called.
The Animator's Palette is really cool. There's definitely some really cool specialty dining and everything. But that feels like it was the only interesting part of the whole ship. A lot of it was the usual Disney experience of like selling you something that's not really all that cool, but then covering it up with like the most magical place in the world for Yeah, I know. You would expect a Disney ship to be like solid on the water. That is probably the most rocky ship I've ever been on.
Yeah, it was crazy. That thing was rocking like I've never been on a cruise with that issue. And it took me by surprise. I'm like, wow, this is Disney cruise because it was really bad. My daughter, one of my daughters, she was in the room for like a day and a half because she was seasick. Um, just to give you a little bit of information for the mother and daughter duo, I paid $14,000 for that cruise, but it was 11 people.
Mhm.
So just to give you like a heads up, like, but yeah, it's crazy. Like the how all the different ships, have their different things that people don't like about them. But right now, I'm getting ready to go on Escape in next month, and then I'll be getting on Celebrity Beyond in February. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me know. Give me a call. You got my number. My Philippine trip was, I bet, but you're going to the Philippines. So that was really cool. Guys, just so that you know, before we leave here today, I just wanted to give you some heads up about our group cruise. Is going to be, if you're interested in coming along with the first Traveling with Tinkerbell group cruise, is going to be on the Carnival Celebration, April 20th, 2025. We have plenty of cabins left. If you guys want to come and join us, give me a call, send me an email, however which way you want to do it, and we can get you on that group cruise. I'll be putting in some more information about it down the road. Um, I bet it's really, really hot over there in the Philippines. But I bet your trip was really cool too. So you probably have great memories of that trip. That's really cool. One of these days we're gonna be going to the Philippines. But hopefully you guys like this review of the Celebrity Ascent, and hopefully you guys can go check out our content and like, comment, and all of that good stuff that you all do. We're thankful for all of you guys, for being here, for all your support. We couldn't do all of this with you guys, so I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys. I'm gonna cut it right here. I love you all to the moon and back, and hopefully you guys have a great New Year's, and I guess I'll see you next year. We're gonna see them next year.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's gonna be
next
a
year.
while.
So stay tuned for next Tuesday. We're going to be coming live again next Tuesday. And Wednesday, we're going to have our Across the Way show as well. So love you guys. Take care. Toodles. Bye. See you next year. 2024. Here we come.